and they were saying he's not red pill, he's blue pill, right? So there's since then I've done a little bit of reading on what red pill philosophy is, and listen to other people talk about it, and I understand what they're getting at. However, this is now all you guys out there who have channels and speak on topics of this nature. This is not necessarily directed to you unless the shoe fits. But the people in the comments, right? I read comments. It's fascinating to me. So some people act like they're above reading comments. I'm not. I be down there in the trenches, and I'll be going back. I'll communicate with people to an extent. So from the outset, without having any prior information or knowledge on what this community is about, one would think that the red pill community are a bunch of men, typically younger men, that hate women based off of maybe negative experiences or encounters with women, getting their hearts broken, torn out their chest, stomped on, things of that nature. So now I'm not saying that's what this community is about, but that's how it seems if you don't know what it's about and you read comments, right, on YouTube. The people in the comment section seems to be guys who may be awkward with girls, maybe they don't have their shit together yet or whatever, but they don't have things go their way when encountering the opposite sex. Now, my whole thing was, look, the problem isn't the girls. It's you or me. It's us, right? So, and my whole philosophy is this, fellas, get your shit together, qualify yourself, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a position to where you have pick of the litter, right? And if you're dealing with a ratchet chick doing ratchet shit, that's on you. You choosing to deal with a lower level energy or vibration or frequency. So if you don't like that, try to put yourself in different types of social settings. Meet women in different places, okay? And women, this go the same for y'all as well. All right, but anyway.
What's going on, fellas? It's another Boogie production. Hey, I want to salute y'all for subscribing to my channel. And I also want to thank y'all for liking my videos. And shout out to the Dime Game Division. Let's rock and roll, man. Yo, we got a good one, man. I've been seeing a couple videos floating around on YouTube about Mike Rashid. And for the people that don't know, Mike Rashid is a heavyweight in the fitness world on social media. Fitness, bodybuilding, health and nutrition. I got hip to Mike Rashid years ago. Mike Rashid is a very successful man in that area, in that space. But lately, there's been some videos floating around about Mike Rashid being blue pill. And we're going to get to that. Apparently Mike Rashid did an interview with some red pill guys online. Y'all heard the clip that I played before the video, which we'll get into. But Mike Rashid did an interview with some red pill guys online, content creators. And obviously Mike Rashid said some things that these guys didn't agree with. Mike Rashid has the attitude basically like, look, if a man isn't getting a desired outcome with women, if you're not getting the number of women, if you're not getting the caliber of women you want, or you keep dealing with ratchet women that's beneath you, then that's on you. As a man, you got to put the work in to put yourself in the best position possible. And first, let me say this. Mike Rashid is absolutely right. It's nothing controversial about that statement, man. That statement doesn't make a man blue pill. It's reality. A man has to create his reality. A man has to get out here, put the work in for him to get the best desired outcome in anything in life. Whether that's health, whether that's finances, in dealing with women. But the issue is with a lot of quote-unquote red pill guys, and I mean quote-unquote, because they don't want to hear anything sensible, anything rational, logical. What they want to hear is, it's 1,000,000,000% the women's fault. It's nothing wrong with me, which I'm going to get into that too. There's nothing wrong with me. Women just love to choose the wrong men, da-da-da-da-da. We already heard the talking points. And I've seen some of the guys that was talking about Mike Rashid. Now, let's touch on that for a second. Let's park this car. In what scenario in life would Mike Rashid have a problem getting women? He's financially successful. He's high status, high value. You know, he has a great physique on him. In what scenario in life would Mike Rashid have a hard time getting a woman? You know, for real. Like, forget all the pills and all of that. Forget all of that crap. In what scenario would Mike Rashid not get a woman? Yo, it's kind of like the Derrick Jackson thing, right? You know, Derrick Jackson, 6'5", 270, chocolate brother. In what scenario would Derrick Jackson not get a woman? You know, and that's the issue, man. You know what I mean? It's really no incentive for certain men to just constantly drag women. There's no incentive for those guys to do that. It's just no incentive, man. And that may be the issue that I have. You know, a lot of guys want other guys to feel like them. You know what I'm saying? Like all the way, 1 billion %. And it's like, dog, I mean, I can only relate to you so much. The same way you can only relate to me so much. You know? So, if we can't agree on something, then that's when the name calling starts. All right. Got you. That's when the name calling starts. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of this online stuff get kind of whack sometimes because I understand the narratives, man. You know, everybody has a narrative, right? I get it, man. You know, everybody wants somebody to see the world like them. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of different narratives. You know, you got the handsome hobo. You know, as if a guy can't be handsome, successful, and be a decent brother to women. You know, so either you the handsome hobo, you know, or you the ugly, nerdy guy that women are going to come back to, which that's not always true. You know, some guys do find their swag and get it right. It may be a little later, but they do get it right. You know, I mean, whatever it is, man, it's just a bunch of different narratives that I hear. And I understand why people do it, man. You know, I really do. And I'm not knocking those people for doing it, but at some point, I just like to think sensibly about shit, man. About stuff, man. It's part of my language, man. I try to keep the profanity down, but it's just like, come on, bro. You know, Mike Rashid can't be blue pill. I'm going to repeat that. Mike Rashid can't be blue pill because he having it his way. That type of stuff don't apply to guys like that, man. It just don't, man. It just don't. You know, I don't pick up any thirsty simp vibes from Mike Rashid, if I say so myself. You know what I mean? That guy just minding his business, man, getting his workout on. You know what I mean? He don't even talk like that. Mike Rashid is just telling people, men in particular, hey, man, you got to create your own reality, man. You know what I mean? You got to put the work in. You know? Straight up. I would love for those guys that called Mike Rashid blue pill to do like one of those side-by-side pictures. You know what I'm saying? You got those guys or you got Mike Rashid on the other side. And we do like a vote, you know, with men and women and say, well, who's more likely to get a woman? This guy or Mike Rashid? That guy or Mike Rashid? You know, 9 times out of 10, Mike Rashid probably is going to win. You know, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And he ain't got to do all the extra stuff to get a woman. Mike Rashid can show up as currently constructed as he is, man. You know? And I don't even know Mike Rashid, but I do understand the climate, man. And to be honest, a lot of guys don't want to deal with that mirror, man. That's just what I see. Point blank period, man. I said it 1,000 times. A lot of guys just don't want to deal with the fact that women ain't sexually attracted to them. Because if those guys can have it their way like Mike Rashid, they wouldn't be complaining. You know what I mean? I would ask any guy that. Well, you know, if you was having it your way with these women, you know what I mean? Would you have any complaints? Would you still feel the same way? You know what I mean? I tend to look at people's intent. You know, if the intent is righteous, you know, you want society to get better, you know, I guess you want families to get back together or whatever, I might roll with you. But if the intent is you not having it your way on a personal level, I can't roll with that, because that's on you. That's on you, my friend. You got to change that. You got to fix that. You got to get right. You know what I mean? You got to fix that. I remember my 11th grade year in high school. I was not having it my way, man. I just wasn't calibrated, man, from top to bottom. I couldn't get my swag right. You know, the shorties wasn't feeling me, man. The women wasn't digging me. Man, that 11th grade year when I got out of school, over the summer, man, I sat in that mirror and I got it right. I got my swag right. I got my gear right. I got my paper right. You know what I mean? I got me a job. I had some hustles on the side. And I went into my 12th grade year with the right attitude. Point blank, period. That was it. I ain't come up with no excuses, man. Why? Because having dry penis my 11th grade year still haunts me to this day. And I told myself, man, I don't want to experience that no more. You know, so instead of complaining, man, I put the work in. That was it. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard work. It wasn't easy. But you know what? That's what a man does. A man can change his reality. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period, man. Mike Rashid ain't say nothing wrong in that clip that I played. I'm talking about in the clip that I played. He ain't say nothing wrong. A lot of guys are awkward with women. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality. That's just the reality. I mean, I see it myself, man. I'm always outside. I see it myself, man. And it's not anything that I'm joking about. It's the fact that I understand pride and ego. And guys just don't want to admit it. You know, pride come before the fall. You know, it come before the fall, man. You know, so essentially guys kind of want to keep women in a certain position so they can have it their way. You know, and I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? It goes back to intent. You know, like, oh, you want to keep women right here, not for the betterment of society, so you can have it your way because you have an issue displaying your personality or being charismatic or whatever the case is, getting attention from women. I'm not down with that, man. I'm not down with that, man. I'm just not. That'd be like Boogie. That'd be like myself, right? Me coming up with a bunch of different narratives to fit my shortcomings, right? To fit my insecurities. So I go out here and say, yeah, man, you know, women should like guys that stutter, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we gonna take care of women, man. Forget that. Forget guys that don't have a speech impediment. It's like, it gets corny, man. It gets corny, man. You know? Or women should like guys that live in an apartment, man. You know what I mean? Forget those guys that live in a house, man. You know what I mean? Like, they only want to keep women running up and down the steps, man, so they can hurt their knees, man. Like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say nothing like that so women can fit my little box. No, if I want more, I got to do more work. That's it, man. You know? And that's not a controversial statement. It's just reality, man. You know, and if you don't want to put in the work, you stuck with what you stuck with. You know, and if that means, forget about Mike Rashid, man. If that means I'm blue pill, whatever. Forget these pills, man. I mean, who cares, man? Who cares? Like, real talk. Who really cares, man, at this point? You know, a bunch of grown men, you know, 40s, 50 years old, sitting around talking about pills. I mean, if you just want to break it down like that. You know, a lot of times it don't even be young dudes, man. It be these guys in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s sitting around discussing who's a simp. This is high intellectual dialogue from grown men. From grown men. When really, they could be taking that energy and trying to change society. You know what I mean? Really. But that's not what they're doing. Like I say, man, I see these guys, man. I see them. My eyes don't lie to me, man. I see them. I understand what the problem is. I thoroughly understand what the problem is. You know, I do. I see him. You know, I think these guys should go look in the mirror. That's what C Boogie says. I think a lot of these guys need to look in the mirror and stand in that mirror. You know, and just sit there in that mirror. You know, and ask themselves, would you date you? I'm going to close this video with this. Would you date you? No preservatives. I don't want it to be stepped on. No explanations, no narratives. As currently constructed, would you date you? Would you date you? Period. And if the answer is no, have a seat, man. Have a seat. You know what I mean? No, a lot of people not ready for that. But that's the reality. I would say the same thing to a woman, man. I really would. Like, sweetheart, would you date you as currently constructed? So how could you get mad if a man don't want you? A lot of people not being sensible. If you won't even date yourself, if you don't want to sleep with yourself, why would somebody else want to do it, man? Man, I'm done with this video. Peace.